everybody, and welcome into Blue Jays Today, where today we're going to be talking some Toronto Blue Jays and some MLB news as a whole. As you can see, it's just your boy Nick today. Adam's literally still at work right now, or else I'm sure that he would love to be here, and frankly, this is like totally spur of the moment for me. Like, I literally was having dinner with my father. I was thinking to myself, you know what? I wanted to spend some time with y'all and talk some baseball. So here we are, everybody. Welcome to the show. Please hit that like and smash that subscribe button. Let's get into the baseball news, folks. First things first that we gotta discuss is that these Toronto Blue Jays, we haven't had enough, guys. We've been digging right now, like literally like grabbing our shovels and digging our way through the trash cans and freaking garbage dumps, and we are pulling out all of those diamonds that we can find, baby. And you know what? I actually like this one a lot. Toronto Blue Jays get... Let me see if you can see that. Yes, you can. Toronto Blue Jays go out and they claim Junior Fernandez. Now, I hope that I am saying that appropriately. I imagine that's who it is. I got really confused for a little bit, I'll be honest here, guys, because we claimed another guy named Fernandez, or we signed another guy named Fernandez, like last week. I made a video on it, so I was like, oh, is this the same guy? No, it is literally a different guy. We claimed Junior Fernandez off of the waivers from the Yankees, according to both clubs. And frankly, literally never heard of this man before in my life from today. But I kind of like what I saw from him. I got his numbers right up here, everybody, so y'all can see. Junior Fernandez, 25 years old. Now, that is, to me, kind of like what I am most excited about, if I'm being completely honest, is the fact that, like, he's young, so I'm assuming that because he's young, he's gonna have potential, he's gonna have upside, he's got a ceiling, you know, like, obviously, not everybody turns out to be a star, and I'm not really expecting this guy to turn out and become an ace, but, you know, I like having a 25-year-old join the team rather than a 35-year-old, like, 8 Ways to Sunday, you know what I mean? Like, there's just more potential for this guy to break out at some point or another. Also, shout out and hello to every single person in the chat right now. Dylan, Boris, Darren, what's up, everybody? If you haven't already done so, please hit the like and subscribe button and let me know your thoughts on this potential move from the Jays right now. Now, let's go back and take a look at his numbers. So he's 25 years old. Last year, he had a pretty solid ERA. But I'm not going to put a lot of weight onto that because even though he pitched 16 games, which is a decent amount, you know, like that's not insignificant, he did have very few innings and the whip was definitely really high. And when we're looking at relief pitchers, which is what this guy is, when we're looking at relief pitchers, I really am getting into the habit now of looking at that whip. Like when it comes to starters, okay, let me see the ERA. Let me look at what you've done over an extended period of time. But when it comes to relievers, I mean, if you're letting a guy on base more than 1.5 times every inning, that's definitely questionable. So that is definitely a red flag right there for me. And when you look at his career whip, it's not like it gets any better. Now, I will say he hasn't pitched that much in the major leagues, right? Like, he's got 4 years under his belt, but it's all like, you know, a few innings here, a few innings there, like not a whole lot, you know. Yes, they're not all super quality, but it's very few and far between. So I don't want to hold too much against him. I think that, as you can see from the ERA, good things can happen, but obviously we're lacking a bit of command with the whip. So a little bit of red flags there. What is the upside here? Well, upside is he's 25 and he throws heat, everybody. He's got the gas. And this is really funny to me, guys, because like we've been talking on this channel for a while now, Adam and I, and we've both been saying it's like we want flamethrowers, dude. I'm sick and tired, and I love Adam Center, but I'm sick and tired of having that mold of guy, you know, like the Adam Simber type, the hyun-jin Ryu type, where we throw junky stuff all over the place And when we're a little bit off, like when we're missing our spots a little bit, it's walk city, we get blasted, home runs, people go around the bases. I hate it. I want to have a guy like potentially Fernandez right here, who, even though he is lacking the command right now, at the very least, he is going to have a, 99 on average mile per hour fastball to fall back on. So if he doesn't have it that day, well, at the very least, you know what? My stuff against your stuff. Let me pump the freaking zone. Can you hit 100? If you can, like, GG, well done. If you can't, then I win this battle. So that's something that I really like about Junior Fernandez. And let's face it, are we going to see him a lot in the majors? Probably not. But I feel like these are the type of bullets. Like they're the type of bullets that I want to see the Blue Jays doing more often, especially when it's like, well, he was a Yankee. Come over here, tell us what the Yankees told you. Like, I want to, what was the report? It's almost like we're getting like a little secret agent right now, right? It's like, okay, what did the Yankees teach you? What are they telling Garrett Cole? What are they telling all these guys? Obviously, like, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's good to have somebody from that organization and be like, hey, this is what they're doing, this is how it's operating, and this is what I learned from them. Teach me something else, make me a better player, because I have the mechanics to be good. I just need somebody to, like, go further with that. So I like this. I obviously don't love it. I hope, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in spring training. I feel like we're definitely going to. And do not be surprised if Fernandez is one of those guys where, maybe later in the year he's killing it in the minors, or we have an injury or something like that. Boom, here's Fernandez. He'll start out in a low leverage situation, but if he, keeps rocking with like a 2.93 ERA, or I thought it was lower than that, actually. Yeah, it says 2.41. So sorry, you guys can see. Someone says 2.41, but if he keeps doing that, he could move himself up the bullpen order. Let's move on to some more news, everybody. As we all know, Trevor Bauer. It's coming up, guys. It is coming up. And apparently, if he doesn't get traded in the next 24 hours, because that's literally how long they have right now. By tomorrow, I don't know exactly what time it is, so somebody comment in the chat or somebody let me know. But by tomorrow, if the Dodgers don't decide to do something with this guy, if they don't trade him, like, he'll just get released automatically, And apparently, it's looking like they've come to the conclusion that we don't want anything to do with you. If we trade you, great, awesome, you're another team's problem. But if we don't trade you, no harm, no foul, you're going straight on to free agency. And that is what's looking like it's going to happen, guys. We got a quote, or we got a tweet here from Bob Nightingale that says the Los Angeles Dodgers have until the end of the business day on Friday. Okay, so there we go. End of the business day on Friday to reinstate or release Trevor Bauer. If they're unable to find a team willing to acquire him in a trade, they remain expected to release him. He's owed $22.5 million in 2023. And from my research of things, Dodgers are going to have to pay that regardless. So whether they release him, whether he goes on to another team, whether they trade him, whatever, they are going to have to fit the bill for that $22.5 million, which is obviously, like, not great from a Dodgers standpoint. And when you think about it, when you take out all of the, like, potential character question marks and all of that stuff, when you just think about that, it's like, wow, are we really about to pay $22.5 million to a guy who's going to pitch on another person's team? Like, who knows? Maybe the Padres could snatch this guy up, and Bauer could pitch against the Dodgers, and they'd be paying him to do that. Like, that's actually very possible at this point. And I'll be honest, guys, Bauer has obviously, let's take a look at his numbers so you guys can get a little bit of a refresher here. He's obviously had some great years. He is really good at baseball when you look at it, right? Can you guys see that? I don't think you can. Can you see that? No, you can't. Bam. Whoops. Bam. There you go. He is really good at baseball, but the big thing is he hasn't pitched in over a year, and, we don't know what you're going to do to our clubhouse. I literally posted a video earlier today talking about why MLB teams are scared of him, and basically it just comes down to the fact that it's like, you cause controversy, and you know, like, everybody's got their own opinion of Trevor Bauer and what they think about him, and like, that's totally cool, like, to each their own, right? But I think it's undeniable at this point to say that it's like Trevor Bauer, like, wherever he goes, there always seems to be, you know, some sort of conversation that probably a manager doesn't want to have, you know, like, that just is the case. So unless you're doing, you know, a 1.73 ERA and winning Cy Young, it almost becomes not worth it. So really interesting to see that the Dodgers are probably going to release him. Who's going to sign him? Well, this is an article right here by Fan Nation looking at just that, and they've listed off a few teams. I don't want to spend too long going through this. You guys comment in the chat and let me know what you think about this. Also, 130 people in here right now. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Hello, everybody. Trainer, Mariana, Ringy Boy, Dylan, what's up, everybody? Ratchet. How's it going, folks? Let me know your thoughts in the comments right there, and please hit the like button if you haven't already done so. They're saying Texas Rangers. That's who their #1 team to potentially sign Trevor Bauer is. And honestly, guys, I kind of hear them. Like, I understand where they're going, right? Like, we've seen Texas in the last 2 years completely flip the script. They're a different ball club now. They're a totally different ball club, and the management said, you know what? Screw this garbage. We want to be competitive again. We want to go back to the ALDS, the ALCS. We want to be there. We want to win World Series. We're going to spend all of the dollars, all of the cents. We're going to get our guys. I could see a reality where Texas is like, you know what? Screw it. This guy has Cy Young potential. Just let's fit the bill and get him onto their team. You know, I feel like Texas would definitely be the squad for it, so I do like that. Houston. I don't think Bauer goes to Houston. I do not think that Bauer goes to Houston. Bauer has been, I mean, let's face it, guys, right? Like, Bauer has spoken out about the trash can scandal. Like, he's spoken out about everything, right? But it's like the trash can thing, like, Bauer's really made some enemies there. And I know that a lot of those players, like Correa and like other people, like, they're on other teams right now. Hell, George Springer. I still don't think that Houston wants him. I just don't see the Houston Astros bringing somebody like that into already like this perfect organization that they have, right? They just won the World Series. They know what they're doing in their clubhouse, and I don't think that they like Trevor Bauer too much. So I don't really agree with that one. I don't see it. New York Mets is the third one, and I get this one, right? It's like, I feel like at this point, anybody who's anybody, you cannot rule the Mets out on, right? It's like, if you can potentially do this, or, you know, like this, the Mets are going to want you, and they're going to make sure that they outbid you. Now, I think for this one, it's really interesting because I don't think that these teams can actually spend more money than the minimum. Like, I think that Trevor Bauer has to take the minimum salary. So it really comes down to, where does he want to pitch? You know, does he want to pitch on the Mets? Does he want to pitch on the Rangers, right? And then also, too, like, do they even want him in the first place? I think the Mets, I think the Rangers. Padres, 100%, just to laugh in the Dodgers' face. I feel like they'd want that. Guardians, that's a sneaky one. I didn't think about it, but it also makes sense, and I feel like the Guardians are at a place right now where it's like, hey, they used to have him. But they used to have him. Would he want to go back? I don't know. And same with the Reds. Like, they used to have him as well. Like, would he want to go back there? I don't know. That's really interesting to me. Would he want to do that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, guys. Those last two are interesting. I feel like, if anything, Padres, Mets, Rangers, those are the teams I think that would be the most interested in getting Bauer. For all of you people out there who were saying, potentially could he come to the Blue Jays? Could that happen? I don't know. I don't think so, guys. I don't think that we would do that. And I don't even know if I can really come up with a good enough reason for you. Like, it's kind of like a gut feeling that I have. So that's like horrible analysis on my part. But I just don't think that the Blue Jays would go out and acquire a guy like Trevor Bauer. I could be wrong. I'm happy to be proven wrong. I'm sure that Bauer, like, he's obviously incentivized to pitch really well, to prove to the MLB that it's like, hey, I still have this. You know, you can trust me. You can pay me money. I just don't know if the Blue Jays are going to be the squad for it, folks. Moving on to one of our final pieces of news. little bit old here, but Raphael Devers, 24 hours ago, he got paid, guys. He got the bag. Like, literally, dude, this guy got the money. And I don't want to spend too long on Devers because, like, you know, Boston. Like, I don't care about Boston, you know what I mean? Like, GG Boston, you finally did something right. You know, you finally did something right. I'll be honest, from, like a content creator standpoint and just a YouTuber standpoint, I am actually kind of pissed off about this because I was so excited to make so many videos on Raphael Devers, where he could get traded, what's going to happen. You kind of ruined the fun on that one, Boston, but I do understand it from an organizational standpoint. Looking at his numbers, it all makes the sense, right? It all makes the 879 OPS last year, 854 OPS on the career. Devers is a good player. He's 26 years old. You're going to have him locked up for 11 more years. This is a good contract, and I feel like this is one of those contracts that we're going to look back on, and we're going to think, hey, most of those years, Devers was an all-star or really, really good, right? Like, this is one of those deals that could totally become outdated, and in 5 years from now, we're going to be like, oh my God, how does Devers get paid that little? You know, like, it could definitely be one of those things. And all of this, considering Devers' age, considering his position, considering what he's done in the MLB, it leads us Blue Jay fans to look at Guerrero. And I see Dylan Prue literally in the chat right now saying Jays should sign Vladdy to a similar contract immediately. And guys, look at the similarities. Like, look at the similarities. Career OPS, almost identical. Like, almost identical, right? Like, batting average, like, literally almost identical, right? These statistics are so close to one another just looking at their careers. Like, Devers had a bit of a better year last year, but I mean, just on a career standpoint, they are almost identical. Guerrero is 23, so he's 3 years younger than Raphael Devers, and I think that we have to, guys. Like, I think it's time. I think that we need to make this happen, because we're seeing now, as players get closer and closer to free agency, just how much money they can actually make. How much money they can make on the free agency market, and it is a crap load, everybody. It is a crap load. If we let Vladimir Guerrero have another, like, MVP caliber season with 3 years left on his deal, like, I don't know if we're going to be able to hold on to him. You know, like, I know that he says that he likes playing in Toronto, but if we don't offer him the deal soon, it's going to be really hard to say, no, Vlad, don't go test free agency when Steve Cohen and the LA Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants, they're all on there, right? Like, we need to get this man on a deal, like, straight up identical to Devers. I'd be so down for that. I'd even be down for a bit more. Like, if you wanted to do something like 11 years, 350, okay, I'm actually cool with that. I trust Guerrero. I think what we saw from him last season was his floor. And let's face it, he was still a great player. He was an all-star. He was a gold glover. And it was really good. And if that's his floor and this is his ceiling, then, like, sign me up. Literally, sign me up, everybody. I think that we need to make it happen. Guys, this was a quick one, everybody. I just want to do a little bit of an update for y'all. So please hit that like, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I really appreciate all of you guys stopping, tuning in. I wanted to take some time, talk some baseball with y'all. Comment down below your thoughts on the whole Trevor Bauer situation and Guerrero potential extension. I want to hear what you all have to say, folks. Here's the music. I forgot to click a little bit earlier, but here it is now. So I'm going to do a little dance and see y'all later. Thanks so much for watching, and go Jays go.